Hello everyone and welcome to First20 here on Steven Plays. My name is Steven George, I play video games, and every Friday it's the first 20 minutes or so of a game. Today we're going to be looking at not a game, but a piece of software, and that software is RPG Maker MV. This is extremely exciting for me, and the reason is back in middle and high school I was obsessed with RPG Maker. I spent I don't know how many hours, hundreds if not thousands of hours, creating games inside of RPG Maker 2000 and a little inside of 2003. Now I haven't touched these pieces of software in years, and the reason is eventually I moved to OS X. I get a Mac, and RPG Maker hasn't been available for Mac. Until now, this latest version is available for both Windows and Macintosh. And to make the deal even sweeter, it can export to Windows or Macintosh from either version, but it gets even better. It can also export to iOS and Android, which means that you can create games for mobile phones, and that is really, really exciting. It also has the ability to export to HTML5, which means you can make games for browsers. It is really, really fascinating. So this piece of software comes out October 23rd. I thought that I should point that out. Right now they have a special pre-purchase thing going on where if you pre-purchase it before it comes out on the 23rd, you get RPG Maker MV, you get the cover art characters pack, and you also get the RPG Maker MV Essentials set. So you get a bunch of other stuff for 10% off. So instead of $80, you get it for $72, as long as you get it before October 23rd. But I have a review copy because I was approached by the developer, and they said, do you want to cover this? And I was like, oh my god, RPG Maker for Mac? Yes. So I figured, what better way to show off RPG Maker than to make a game? So I actually spent 7 hours today making a very short adventure, and everything is made from just the bare bones, not even the DLC for RPG Maker, but just the bare bones RPG Maker MV. So I'm going to play through the short adventure, and then after I'm done, I'm going to show you exactly what went into to making it, and show you guys, kind of how it works and how you can make your own adventures. Fortunately, the system hasn't changed a whole lot. It's gotten more, it's gotten bigger. There's more options, but the core of RPG Maker hasn't changed in 10 years, which is awesome because that means even though I haven't used any RPG Maker software since like 2000 or 2003, I was able to just sit down and immediately knew what I was doing because I had used it 10 years ago. So if you're an oldie and you used to use RPG Maker and you're thinking about getting back into it, the good news is everything is going to seem really familiar and really easy to use. So without further ado, I'm going to launch this. I'll launch this full screen. And I've called this The Oil Venture, and you'll find out why. But let's go ahead and start a new game. So we start at Stephen and Mao's house, and I am playing as me. We can check a few of these objects. It's a clock. You could probably tell without checking it, though. It ran out of batteries a long time ago, but now it sort of reminds you of To the Moon, so you haven't changed it. Go over here and talk to Kitty. Kepler says, meow, Sagan is at the vet today. He should be home tomorrow, though. Alright, let's go ahead and check out some of these pictures. A painting that you found in a cave one time. Seriously, you found it in a cave. It looks like Napoleon Bonaparte, but it's really just a printed and framed image of the archaic rap guy, Joseph Ducrot. You guys are weird, it's okay. You can also check some of this other stuff. Don't touch it! Are you trying to burn yourself? Looks like Mao is making something tasty. You're finally awake. I was wondering when you'd wake up. Yeah, sorry about that. Long night last night. It's fine. But now that you're up, can you do me a favor? Sure, what is it? I'm making lunch, but just realized I'm out of cooking oil. Could you go to the store and get me some? Let's say no. No? What do you mean no? Come on, won't you get the oil for me? Okay, sure. No problem. Thanks, here's some money. Hurry back. Receive 20 bucks. Alright, so now we have an agenda. We are to go to the store and get some cooking oil. But now we're at the village of Beach. Stephen Mallory's house. We try to go to the left. Stephen, you're supposed to be going to the store. You need to buy cooking oil, remember? So let's continue this way. You can actually, you can hold shift and run. And this is stuff that you can all you can control to any degree. I mean, if you want to be able to run or turn it off or run all the time, that's up to you. The other cool thing is that mouse/touch is built into the system, so it's not anything you gotta try and rig up. It just works. So if you want to use a mouse to go around or interact with objects, you can. Now, if this was a touch screen, it works the same way. You could just touch, and it would take you exactly where you need to go. But I'm really used to using the arrow keys and spacebar, so I'm going to be doing it the old school way. Well, if it isn't my old pal Steven. Hey, Alex. I just want you to know that I don't appreciate being an old man in your game. Really? Because you're a lot like an old man in real life. Ugh. I'd fight you, but my stats are too low. Haha, you're a good sport. Is Haley inside? No, I think she went to the store for something. In that case, I might run into her. I'm on my way to the store right now. And as we both know, in this small RPG world, there is only one store. Correct. Well, gotta go. So, Alex is an old farmer, and is tending to his crops. God bless him. Let's go up the path and see what else is around. Oh, who could it be? Hey, Dan, how's it going? Oh, hey, Steven, I'm doing great. Just watching the water. Any particular reason? Yeah, I'm waiting to see the horse rise out of the water. Dan, what are you talking about? Wait, it's about to happen. Wow, you were right. And she's gone. Such a majestic creature. Alright, let's leave Dan alone and proceed up here. Can you believe this? Believe what? The store is closed. I had shopping to do too. Oh no, really? Why? Some stupid reason. Go ask the lady yourself. Let's go up here. I'm sorry, sir, but the store is closed today. National holiday. What holiday is that? Oh, it's Arbitrary Holiday Day. Of course. See? What'd I tell ya? I can't believe they're closed. I know! And an arbitrary holiday sounds, I don't know. Arbitrary? Yes, exactly. What did you need at the store anyway? I was picking up cooking oil for Mal. She's making lunch and we're all out. Cooking oil, huh? I might be able to help out. Stop by my house later. Okay. And then Haley runs home. You gonna just chill there, Dan? Maybe she'll come back someday. So Dan is going to obsess over this water horse. I actually had Mal play this game earlier, and she said that Dan looked like Freddie Mercury, which is true. You probably noticed that at least like on my face image and Mal's face image, and our characters look like us, and that's because there's a character generator. But I only did that for Mal and myself because I didn't want to put too much time into creating the game, just so I could get it out in time for you guys today. Alex and Haley's house. So when we walk in, Haley's here. Alright, so, I know you need that cooking oil, so I'm gonna help you out. Okay. It just so happens that I've dug a tunnel all the way to the store. What? I know it sounds bizarre, but trust me, I like digging tunnels. It's a hobby of mine. That's an extremely bizarre hobby. You're one to talk, Mr. I film my life every day. That's weird. Okay. Where's the tunnel? Follow me. Check this out. Ta-da! Holy piss, you weren't kidding. Of course not. Now get over here before I change my mind. Right, sorry. Be careful down there. Will do. And now we are down in Haley's secret tunnel. Ah, geez. There's probably going to be monsters down here. I guess I'll have to fight with my car keys. I've also played a lot of Magic the Gathering, so maybe that'll come in handy. And there are going to be some random encounters in this tunnel. I don't think I want to know what happened here. Ugh. So we're going to make our way through, and you'll get a chance to see a few of the random encounters. Unless we don't get it. Oh, there we go. Tunnel Rat. Tunnel Bat. So we've got our HP, we've got our MP, and this is all stuff I've set. The images, everything you're seeing is stock. And by the way, in RPG Maker, you can bring in all your own assets, but everything you're going to see right here in this entire playthrough is all stuff that is included in the base game. Not even the DLC, the base game, just so you're aware of what you're getting. So we can do a regular attack. We also have some magic available to us. We've got Lightning Bolt, which is straight out of Magic the Gathering. It costs 8. And we can also nap, which lets us sleep for 3 to 5 turns to restore all HP and MP. These are both things that I made. They're both attacks that I specialized in and decided on. So I'm going to use my lightning bolt on the bat. Steven tap red mana. Bam! Alright, so they're hitting back. But they're not doing too much. Let's just do a normal attack. 22 damage. Let's fight this thing. Oh, it evaded the attack. Let's try again. Excellent. Steven was victorious! Did Haley really dig this entire tunnel out herself? This is crazy! There's lots of various things down here in this tunnel. She's been digging for a while. Apparently that's her hobby. Man, tight squeeze here. Continue to proceed and see what else we run into. Oh, tunnel rats. Lots of them. Alright, not a problem. Let's get started on these. There's quite a few. Now, these encounters are all randomized. You can create your own enemies, and then you can create your own, what the system calls troops. So you can create special groupings of enemies. So if you want there to be 5 rats, you can make 5 rats. If you want there to be 4 rats, you can make 4 rats. If you want there to be a rat and another character, it doesn't matter. You have full control over the system, which is really neat. Okay, so let's try getting an attack in here. Doing good, doing good. Can't complain. Boom. Did I hit it? Oh, it evaded. Oh yeah? We'll try and evade this, you son of a gun. Lightning bolt. 75 damage. And I'm still taking some damage too. I am actually going to nap. I'll show you guys how this works. Steven dozed off. So I recover all my HP and MP, but I'm going to be asleep for 3 to 5 turns, and that's randomized by the system, so the system's going to decide that. So I woke up, and I altered the normal sleep. I think the normal sleep in the system is that you wake up if you get hit. But I decided to change that. So I leveled up to level 2, and I learned Lightning Storm. And there is a menu. I didn't really get that, I didn't really play with that too much, but there is a menu. So if you hit skill, you can actually check out your skill straight out of Magic the Gathering. Hits all enemies with powerful thunder, and sleep for 3 to 5 turns. I have some equipment, but not a whole lot. I've got car keys and I've got clothing. You can also save the game, but you can customize it any way you want. If you don't want people to be able to save the game except at certain points, then you can do that. So we just earned a new move called Lightning Storm. It costs 20, but it should probably help out quite a bit. You'll notice that my turn priority went down, and that's something that I set for that particular move. But it allows us to do a ton of damage to all these rats. Take that, evil rats! Boom! Steven was victorious! I really only planned for people to get to level 2 in this cave. Alright, so we're finally here. Alright, time to finally get that cooking oil. So let's climb up. The store back room. So now we're in the back room of the store. If we try to leave... Now, I shouldn't explore the store right now. I'm just here to get the oil and go. Alright, so let's focus on getting that oil. I did it! I found the cooking oil! Steven got the cooking oil. I guess I'll just leave the money on the ground. Left $5 on the ground! Now to get the heck out of here. Stop right there. Huh? What are you doing in my store? Oh, me? I was just, Don't play dumb with me. You're here to steal something. What? No, I mean, I left the money on the ground. Liar! Let's see how you deal with my blade, thief. So now we got a battle. Store owner emerged. Okay, I unfortunately don't have much mana. So let's start with a lightning bolt. Boom! Store owner shouted something terrible. I got that from Earthbound, but you probably could guess that. I need more mana, so I'm actually going to take a nap. And she'll get some free hits, but that's okay. 13 damage, I'm sleeping. 14 damage, I'm sleeping. She shouted something, my attack went down. I'm up! Alright, now let's try some more lightning bolt. I'm tapping that red mana. My attack's down. Lightning bolt again! Man, how far down is my attack now? It must be really terrible. 7 damage! Wow! Yeah, it's doing almost nothing. Alright. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Lightning bolt. Store owner is slain. Stephen was victorious. I guess you're pretty strong. Look, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have broken in here just to get cooking oil. Cooking oil? You came here to steal cooking oil? I didn't steal it. I left the money on the floor. I mean, I did break into your building, but why would you risk life and limb just to get worthless cooking oil? Well, my wife is making lunch. I was hungry. You must really like food. Oh, you have no idea. All right, I see the money behind you. You're free to go. I won't press any charges. Awesome, thank you. I can finally enjoy my lunch. Lunch? Do you have any idea what time it is? No? Where on earth have you been? Honestly, you wouldn't believe me if I told you. Try me. Did you know Haley digs tunnels under her house? Of course, it's her hobby. I'm going to bed. Is this cooking oil? It's been an interesting day. Good night, Mal. Huh? Good night, Stephen. And that is my game. That is the oil venture. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Now I'm going to make this bigger. I'm actually going to show you guys how that worked and how that came together and how I made this game. So I started on this game earlier today. Today is Thursday. So I made all this and recorded all this the day before this First 20 was supposed to come out. And I'd say it probably took me about 7 hours to make what you just saw, which in my opinion is pretty freaking good to have a short, 10 to 15 minute game made in about 7 hours. That's awesome. So the way RPG Maker works is that you make maps. You can make individual maps. You'll see I have several maps, and I'm going to go through them and show you guys. You make maps by just painting. It's really, really simple. You have these tile sets that have all of these different things that you can paint. So, like, if you want the stairs to be, this carpeted stuff, you can just make it carpeted. I mean, it's really, really easy to use. If you look over here and you're like, I really want there to be a window right here, then it's there, and it's there. You're all set. So you paint different maps however you want. You can copy and paste and do all the tools that you would assume would work inside of a program like this. Then you have events, and you'll see that's what these little dark marks are. So Kepler, for example, is an event. So if we click on him, he'll come up. You can give him a name. I didn't because I was doing such a short game. You choose the image, and this is all stuff that's included. So there was a cat, and the reason I didn't include Sagan was because there's only one cat in here, and you can recolor these yourself. And all of this stuff you could take into Photoshop or whatever you want and customize it any way you want. But I didn't want to take the time to do that because I was trying to get an entire game done in a day. So I just used this cat and said, Sagan is at the vet. But there's all sorts of things in here. There's all sorts of ready-made characters, which is really, really cool. And all of this ready-made stuff in here has face sets. So when you open this up, there's face sets for all of these things too. So if you use any of these ready-made characters, then you're all set. You can type in the text. You can decide if you want the window to be normal, if you want it to be dim, transparent. You can choose where the position is. It's all really, really easy to do. I had it play a sound effect for a cat before we came in. So you click this, it'll just show you all the different commands you can do. Now, if you are familiar with RPG Maker, any of them, this probably looks familiar, and it's the same. They've added more stuff, but otherwise, it's all the same stuff. Now, you have to keep in mind that I'm coming from 2000, a little bit of 2003, but mostly 2000. So anyone that's used like RPG Maker XP or anything like that, like I haven't used that stuff. So there may be some things that I get excited about that were in an older version. You have to forgive me. It's been 10 years since I touched RPG Maker, and I'm really, really excited that it's back and available for OS X. The balloon icons were really cool. That's how I was doing like the exclamation or the heart or whatever, like the little things that would appear above my head. That's what that was. You can change the transparency. If you want your character to move around, you can set a particular movement route. Kepler's just set to random, so it'll just walk around. This is the event for the clock and the stove, etc. There's other ways you can set events. You can set events on the things themselves, but I set them this way because that's the way I know how to do it. Mallory is a little more involved, but it's all really easy to do. So for text, if you wanted to add a text box, you just click and you hit, show text, and then you just type what you want to show. And if you want a face, then you would just put a face in here. Now you'll notice I have one specifically for Mallory, and I have one specifically for myself. And these were all generated within RPG Maker, which is super, super cool. I made all of these within RPG Maker. I didn't have to do anything outside of this program. Every single thing you saw was inside of RPG Maker MV. So there's a bunch of other cool stuff here. So let me show you how I did that. There's a button here called Character Generator, and it lets you pick every little detail about the character, and it creates the graphics for you, which is super, super cool. So you can choose male or female, and you can actually customize the character in any way you want. You say, oh, I want them to have red hair. I want their hair to look like this in the front and maybe, this in the back. And it not only alters the face, but it's altering all of the other images, which is super, super cool. I want them to have elf ears. I want them to have, crazy yellow eyes, and they have to have a tail. So like now the tail appears in all of this stuff. You can choose their clothing, and you can alter all of the different colors of the clothing. So it's really, really cool. Now, the thing is, if you want, you have the ability to go in and make your own stuff. You don't have to use what's inside of RPG Maker. You can open up any editing software you want, any photo editing software you want, and make your own stuff and bring it in. So it's very, very powerful. But the fact that you can do all of this stuff within RPG Maker is really, really nice. And none of this stuff existed whenever I was using RPG Maker. So the fact that I can make a character look however I want it to is really neat. If I want them to have glasses, now they have glasses. And what's cool is that now I've made, a face and all of this stuff. And what's cool is that you can save these as individual, files. You can save the settings so this just always pops up. And if you can basically like save the settings, and then you're like, I want to have a face where she has her glasses off. So you can save it and load it so you can come back and change it. You may notice that throughout the adventure that you saw me play, Mal and I had different faces at different times. And all we did was we had these settings saved for our characters. In fact, I can hit load. I hit load and go to image, faces, wait, was it? Oh, here we go, Mallory.json. So this is Mal's. And, I can load it up and say, I want her mouth open, or I want her mouth like this, or I want her slightly disgruntled, or something like that. So I have all of these options here, which is really cool. And then you can bring them right into the game. Also, one of the big differences between RPG Maker 2000 and 2003 was the style of battle system. You'll know that what I showed was a side view, where like the monsters are on one side and the characters on another. If you want that, you can have that, but if you don't, if you want it to be more like Earthbound's and you want a front view, there you go. You just check a box and you're set. And now you're done. You have the normal HP MP, but there's also TP, which is just an extra MP level. If you want to try and use that in your game, you can. There's so many things that you can adjust. You create all of the elements and decide what they do and what they mean, how they interact with each other for vulnerability and resistances. You can create the types of skills. Like, it doesn't just have to be magic. You can have magic or special or skill or name it whatever, and different characters have different abilities and they're called different things. You can create weapon types, armor types, equipment types, and you decide what all of these things actually mean in relation to each other. You also change all of the terms. So what the messages say, like whenever you have a battle, you can decide what it says when the battle starts or when you win. You can decide what the fight is called. You could change it to be Earthboundy if you want. You could put bash and run away. You can set common events, things that happen all the time, so you can just quickly grab them. Tile sets are here. Now, tile sets, these are the ones that are included, but the DLC will add more, because generally they create, new DLC for this kind of thing. But you could also make your own if you wanted, and then you can just tell the system, which ones you can pass through, which ones are blocked, etc. It's just really, really, really cool. Animations. All of these animations are included in here, so like you can click on let's see, Earth all 3 and hit play. That's pretty cool. The thing is, you can change that to be whatever you want. You can make your own. That is all composed of 50 frames. That's all that is. And if you wanted to make your own from scratch, you could. And there's so many images in here that you can play with to do it yourself. Or you could even make your own images and bring them in that way. So really, really cool. So you can make your own animations and use them for whatever. They could be for battles. They could be on the overworld. Anything you want. There's different states. Knockout, Guard, Immortal. I made one. I don't think we got to see it, but I made one called Sticky. And I made that for the spiders in the tunnel who cast Web. And that's also something I made. If we go up to Skills, I made this ability called Web. And it has a 100% success rate. And it says username shoots a web at you. And then it adds the state of Sticky. And the Sticky state just means that you cannot move. And you cannot move for one turn. So you're basically stuck for a turn. And it ends at the end of battle. It also ends at the end of the turn. So you make your own enemies. And there's a bunch of different enemies in here. So the store owner is just one of the people that were in here. They give you quite a few to choose from. You can also adjust the hue, so you can kind of get some variation. A lot of classic RPGs do that. You'll fight the same image over and over, but the hue changes, so it's kind of like a different experience. You can change all the stats. You can change the traits, etc. You decide what armors there are, all the parameters of the armors, exactly what they do. Etc. So it's basically every element of a RPG that you can imagine is in here, and you can customize every single little thing, which is really, really, really cool. You can change the classes. You can see I was actually playing around with the idea of having, Kepler or Mallory in here as playable characters, and I changed it. The default curves on all of these things are a lot higher. Like, you start with a lot more health. And I actually changed it because I kind of like the system where it's a lot lower, where the numbers are lower, like a Paper Mario type thing. So I started lowering them a lot before I found a medium that I really enjoyed. But you set the heroes, which they call actors, and you can set what the default face, the character, blah, blah, blah is, and the starting equipment. It's very, very cool. So that is the database that I just showed you. That's where all of this stuff is. The character generator allows you to make your own characters, and the maps are pretty self-explanatory. Whenever you make a map, you get to decide how big it is, and that's just, you hit edit, and you decide what tile set you're going to use. I used an outside one. You have a display name, which is what displays in the game. You can turn that off too if you want. You don't have to have that. Decide how big it is. You decide how many steps per encounter. And that's not exact, that's just rough, about 30 steps you'll get an encounter. You don't get any encounters in this area because I don't have any encounters in here, but if you wanted some encounters, you could just add, these encounters in here, and then they'd start showing up. You can decide what background music you want to play, and it comes with quite a bit of background music for battles, castles, etc., anything you can imagine. You can also do pitch shifting or pan it a particular way. It comes with a lot of... comes with background sound, so if you just kind of want like a city sound, you just play that in the background while you're walking around instead of music. You could do that. Also, there's a lot of sound effects. If we click here, you can pull up some of those. If we go over here, play sound effect, you can see there's a lot of stuff in here that's all included in the thing. So basically, everything that you need to make your own role-playing game, however long you wanted it to be, is in here. So now that you understand a little bit how the system works, this stuff probably makes a little more sense. Here's Alex over in the field, and he can just be dragged anywhere, and he'll, say his thing. Here's Dan talking to the water horse. You can see the castle actually extends quite a bit. When I originally made the game, I wasn't sure how far it was going to go back. I was thinking maybe there'd be a part where we snuck into the castle, but then I decided it'd be funnier if Haley dug a tunnel underneath the thing, which is interesting. Now, like I said, the character generator does take some time to play around with, which is why I just used ready-made characters for, like, Dan. Just why he looks a little like Freddie Mercury. But if I wanted to, I could very easily, pull up the character generator and make custom sprites and faces for any of these people. So if you were making, a real game, it would be very easy to do that. which is really, really cool. Once again, not a feature that we had in my day, and something that's very, very welcome, because it used to be you really had to be a talented sprite artist, and now not so much. If you wanted to make something that looks very decent and have faces and stuff that match, you can do that, which is awesome. So here's Alex's house. All of the stuff is really just for show because Haley is here. The tunnel, you can see exactly how the tunnel works. I've got some events that stopped us and forced us to hear Steven's inner monologue. And then, of course, the store back room, which we just came in and got the bottle. So overall, a very short adventure, but a very fun adventure. And when you're done, you can just go up here to File, Deployment, and it'll come up and say Save Changes. We say yes, and it'll just ask you what platform: Windows, Mac OS X, Android, iOS. Now, there's going to be another option here for HTML5 output, which will allow you to post it to a web page, which is super cool. That's not in here yet, and I think it's not in here because I'm using a review copy. I think that just hasn't been added quite yet, but that is definitely planned, and I assume it'll be ready for release. Once again, this video is coming out on October 2nd, and this tool isn't out until October 23rd, so this is like 3 weeks before the software actually comes out. But by the time it comes out, I assume that they'll have HTML5 output ready. Once they do, I would love to publish this game to the web for you guys. I would just keep an eye on Facebook or Twitter, and if I get a chance, I'll put this game up so you guys can play it yourself. Now, keep in mind, I don't have anything prepared for my character past level 2. It's not like you could wander around that tunnel all day. But if you wanted to try it out yourself, you're certainly welcome to. You could break the game if you wanted, because there's a few things I did just to get by. Like, for example, I knew the way I was going to play it, so Haley is up here. But if you wanted to, you could actually start the game. For example, if I hit starting position for player here, so now we start the game in here. You'll notice, now this is before we've ever talked to Haley. Haley's actually already in here, so she's in here. And also the music changes. So, yeah, I knew, I know how to change all of that stuff, but there was just no reason to change it for, the video, obviously. But that's stuff that you can control. You could set a flag on the door, or even on Haley. You could come in here and say, she's not here unless a condition is met. So if the particular condition is not met, so you could say, let's see, talked to Haley, then Haley won't be here. And then you would just go here, and you would say, at the end of this, before you erase the event, you would switch on talk to Haley. So you'd put that into the on position. So what happens is after she leaves, it turns on talk to Haley, and when it turns that switch on, it tells Haley to appear at the house. So there, I fixed it. It took like an extra 5 seconds. Anyway, that's going to be it for today. RPG Maker MV launches on October 23rd, and I am super pumped. Not only that I've been playing around with the review copy and I've had a lot of fun all day, but also that it's going to get into the hands of the next generation of game designers. This is a tool that a lot of people used to, start out with in game design, but also it's a very powerful tool in and of itself. The LP that we did a few weeks back, a month ago or so, of To the Moon, which was an award-winning game, best story of 2011, was made in RPG Maker. So it was made in this same system. It's really cool, and now with the ability to export to HTML, to export to iOS and Android, and then either Mac or Windows, like, that's awesome. That is so cool. Not to mention that finally anyone who's using a Mac can create games, and I think that's really, really swell. Anyway, once again, just as a reminder, if you pre-order the game, if I can find it, store page. If you pre-order the game, you get the DLC, and you get it all for 10% off. So instead of $80, you get it for $72. To be honest, for what it is, it's a pretty big steal. Keep in mind that everything you saw today was created just in the base set. The DLC is going to add even more stuff, which is really neat. And if I had to guess, they'll probably periodically be releasing even more DLC if you want even more art or sound effects or whatever to play around with. But keep in mind, you can always make your own stuff. You can make your own stuff. You can make your own music. You can make your own whatever and just bring it in. And I think that's really, really cool. Anyway, that's going to be it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to put a link to RPG Maker MV down in the description below. And if anyone wants to pre-order it, you can do so down there. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time for more Steven Plays First 20. Even though, it was mostly talking about tools today.